Hi folks, okay, I promised you a little bit more of an in-depth look into Matt Henshaw's work. So the last two stories I read was three family portrait, and the other one was Merry and Bright. So three family portraits. Let's start with that one. A picture says 1,000 words is, like I say in the previous review, is the best way to describe it. It's very intense because you don't expect, well, you definitely don't expect it to be as detailed as it is. It is following the lifestyle of a family, mother or father experiencing their child's first birth. Now, having a new baby can be a very stressful experience, as Matt really does detail, but it's even more of an experience when it's one where the child comes out deformed and icky. In this case, this child is messed up beyond belief and has a massive schlong. So I guess me and Matt kind of subliminally linked at one point and just went, shall we have a demon baby with a big schlong? Yeah. So that happened. So picture one basically goes into when the baby's first born, how the mom and dad progress in their relationship or lack thereof. Picture two is how it progressively gets worse between them. So mom has a bit of a dependency issue with the child. She's stopped looking after herself. She's stopped doing any effort, whereas dad's going out and shagging pretty much anything he can find. So he's kind of giving into any form of vice he can find, just to kind of distance himself from mum and baby, because mum's lost her job at the diner, so now she's primarily caring for the child, and child is very well described. Yeah, as far as bratty child is concerned, Matt did an amazing job. I mean, the description, the detail, the atmosphere. For a short story, he's packed in a lot there, and it's all very visible to the reader. Like, in your mind's eye, you can see the scene. He really does an amazing job. 3 pictures, 3 different viewpoints, so to speak, because you've got the family viewpoint, then you've got the viewpoint of how they're basically getting worse, and then you've got the final picture, which I loved the way that he did the third picture. It's not exactly a family portrait picture. I won't give away the ending. It's brilliant. It definitely builds up to it brilliantly. The structure's there, the pace is there. It's a great story. Then we go to Merry and Bright. A lot of the Godless crew have gone with taking traditional Christmas stories and eviscerating them completely, and taking a new take on what used to be traditional holiday classics. So you've got stories like Nicholas has done with his, it's not very Christmassy, but it's a kidnap story. Then you've got Raina, who's done her version with My Christmas Story, which is messed up. Boop! If you've read it, you'll understand the reference. Then, of course, you've got Christmas Wishes, so to speak. Basically, there is Thomas R. Clarke does an amazing job as well with his story of turning your typical Santa into something a lot darker. In this one, you get 3 members of the family all sitting down. Seems like a lovely Christmas day. Typical family get together, opening prezzies, enjoying their company with each other, looking forward to having breakfast for Christmas Day, waiting for the relatives to come over for the rest of the present opening. So the relatives show up. Auntie and uncle show up, and they turn around and say, "Oh, did you know that you've got 3 mysterious presents sitting on your doorstep?" Now, there's nothing on these presents to say who they're for. All it says is that the family have to open all 3 presents at the same time. Instantly, if that was me, I'd be like, Oh, yeah, I don't think I want to touch these. Especially these days. Would you really want to open a present that's unmarked and on your doorstep? It's like, no. Although, to be fair, in England, you are lucky if you get your parcels because they're sometimes in a bush or in the recycling bin or hidden somewhere over the wall of your next door neighbour. We put it in a safe place in the big black bin bag that's hidden on the other side of the hedge. It's like a game of Where's Wally, but it's Where's My Shit. Anyway, I digress. So you get 3 presents. They bring them into the house. They do as, they're going through the breakfast scenario and everything. They're all having a lovely Christmas so far until it comes to these 3 boxes. Now, the detail of the suffering, the gore, it's very different. Like, see, Matt has gone from 2 different levels. So in like the first story, you've got your normal, everyday extreme horror gore. This one seems to be a bit more sinister. For me, it was anyway, because the way that he describes the ripping of the skin, the blood pouring from the little boy and stuff like that. It's got a bit more of a darker feel to it. I think it's because it's a Christmas story and it's meant to be, it's taking something as innocent as present opening and making it so much more dark and very I hate saying sinister all the time, but it's so eerie as well. Like when they're first touching the boxes and they're like one's a different weight to each other, and yeah, he makes you really, really think. Plus, I love the reference in there. What's in the box? The 7 reference was ace. But the ending to this story was not what I expected. And again, it's another twist that really surprised me. And I loved the way he took the story, because you don't know what the hell this family has done to deserve such a punishment. They don't, you don't know if somebody really hates the family and they've just left them these basically Hellraiser boxes on their doorstep, or if it's something a bit more than that. But the ending really does kind of bring the whole story together, and it really does bring you a sense of almost, I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to have to, almost a bit of relief. I don't know why, because it's like, oh yeah, oh okay, that explains it. I don't feel so bad now. It's like that kind of sensation. Honestly, guys, these are 2 incredible stories. Matt Henshaw really knocked it out the park for me with these, because I didn't expect the stories to go the direction they did. The first one I had an inkling. The second one I had no idea. No idea where he was going with it. So the ending for me was just perfect. And he really is a talented writer. His description of the scene, like I say, both stories, you can visualize everything going on. It's that vivid. And the gross elements and the extreme horror elements are definitely there. So I was very well entertained, and I definitely recommend his work to anyone. I mean, they're only 50p, or rather in my money, they're 40p, but 50 cents in American money. And they're so worth it. Like, a lot of the godless horrors that are coming out right now for these new and budding extreme horror and horror authors is insanely good. I really do think that everyone should get down to, www.godless.com, because it's something new for everyone. If you're not into extreme horror, though, there are elements of other stories that are less grotesque and less, dark compared. I mean, you've got Dire Circle, which is not that I'm blowing my own horn, but my story's in that one called Leviathan, Queen of Madness. But it's different takes on the Zodiac. We went with the Black Zodiac for D&T's anthology. And that's very different. And it will make you look at zodiac signs in a very different manner as well. Then you've got Mark Tosey, and you've got his stories. You've got Nana, you've got The Crows, which has come out right now, so you can get The Crows now. My friend's got that one. She's determined to get a review out as soon as possible, bless her buttons. And I've got a selection on here by RJ Bennett as well. RJ's a really good writer. I'm enjoying his story so far. I'm waiting for another Reign of Havoc to come out. I've got Miss Filth, Danny, Queen of Filth. I've got her one on here as well, the Scratch Post, and I can't wait to get round to that. Although, to be fair, she's been talking about the recent project she's working on, which involves maggots and bums. And I'm just there going, I have to admit, there are some levels I can go to. Like, I can deal with quite a bit for extreme horror. I mean, I read Daniel Volpe and Aaron, and I don't know, some levels of extreme horror don't hit me as hard, I guess. I think I've just got used to it. But to be fair, if you read my recent one, What's Eating You, it's pretty tame. I think it's pretty tame compared to the rest of the guys on there. I don't know. If you've read it, let me know and tell me if you think I'm wrong. But right now, I think you really do need to check out these incredible authors. They've done an amazing job. I mean, Anti-Christmas is amazing. Although the 31 Days of Godless for Halloween were incredible. So I didn't expect to have any less kind of awesomeness coming into it. And some of these new budding authors definitely need your attention. Matt, I, hand on heart, can't wait to see what else you're going to throw out, because I'm totally there for it. Because I love an author that has this depth to them, where they make you think about the writing that you're like. When you have a writer that makes you really consider what you're reading, that's an author that you want to stick with. That's why I love Clive Barker, because his writing was insane and he loved thinking outside the box. I think the box got thrown fucking halfway across the universe, but still, he made me think outside the box. Neil Gaiman's exactly the same. And Matt really did an amazing job at taking these concepts and making them something wholly brand new. Although so did some of these other guys. I mean, they've done some incredible work over there. So, guys, honestly, godless.com, you need to check it out. It's just a cornucopia of awesomeness and extreme horror. And also, please check out these two that I was telling you about. So you've got Merry and Bright, and you've got Three Family Portraits, which are incredibly good, incredibly cheap. You'd be stupid not to buy them. If you like what I've told you today about the story and you're itching going, oh, I want to know what the ending is, go over to Godless. They got it there. You will thank me later.